Well, it's been a year, exactly a year this week, since our friends and neighbors and family gathered to raise the frame of our timber frame home that we're building here in the mountains of Idaho. 1 year since the frame raising, we have a drywall, and we also have the beginnings of the spiral staircase. Come on in so you can see. It's a house! It's a real house!
What do you think, Milo?
Drywall's on. Paper's off. So guess the next thing, what's the next thing?
Good question, buddy.
I feel really good. Last night after the drywallers left, I just had to clean. I just had to see it, I guess.
It's a good place to sit, huh? That's exactly where I go, Milo. I go right to that spot.
We had put the pole in before we poured the floor. The pole's been in for a long time. And then I had to, and then I cut all of the stair treads out of tube steel. I had gotten all of that tube steel in trade for work. So there was no cash put out for any of these parts, the pole or the treads. I'm happy that I was able to use all four sides of the square tube. It works out just well enough to where this side will give my tread support. It's a big wide wood tread, and this side gives me enough purchase along the pole for a nice fat weld against there. A lot of careful cutting and a lot of grinding to make them nice and smooth. And then I had to do some careful layout. Came up with a way to mark out the 12 different points around the pole, and then I also had to build a jig to set the step-to-step distance, both around the circle and in height. And that jig really helped it move along smoothly. I took a measurement of the circumference of the pole, and then I divided that up into 12 and made tick marks along this piece of paper. So I have 12 points evenly distributed around it. The other thing that wrapping a piece of paper does is it gives you a level line all the way around. If only if it's spiraling, you'll know if it's spiraling because the 2 points of the paper won't line up. So if those are lining up and it's all flat on there, then you get a level line. So what I'm going to do is I have a big black mark here, which is supposed to face out into the room this way, and I have my laser level set up. So as I make my measurements here for treads, I can make a tick mark here and move this to my tick mark, get that black mark lined up on the laser, and then go over to where the tread is actually supposed to be. Use the top edge of the paper to transfer the height, and the tick mark on the paper to tell me what hand on the clock it should be. And that'll give me centers all the way around the pole for tread locations.
So how do I seal it up at the bottom?
That's the perfect fire starter. Tight little space with paper and sawdust. It's perfect. This is your first line of defense.
Okay.
So I have the center top of each tread marked out on the pole. So I have a little tick mark to go to there.
I can't even see it.
It's this cross.
Okay.
So that lines up with this, I have a penciled center line on this. So all I'm doing is I'm paying attention to centers of these. If they're not cut exactly the same per step, that's fine. But I just want to, I need something to go by, so I'm choosing center. So that goes at my center mark there. And then I have this first one laid out, just using the drawing and the center line of our room. And the point that I'm measuring to on each one is this hole. This hole is going to end up being where the handrail bolts in. It'll get reamed out larger, but for now it's just a 1/4 inch hole so that I can use it as a reference point. It's a consistent distance from that end. So I'll have this first one, and I'll just have to hold it, tack it, level it in 2 directions, and make sure that that hole is right over that mark in the floor. And then after I have the first one, I'm building off of that. I made this jig, and so with 1/4 inch holes, I have a 1/4 inch bolt. I'm going to bolt this to the first step, and then this locates the next step. So the next step will come and bolt to the underside of this, right like that. And that is that's our step height from the bottom of that to the bottom of that. That's our step height of 8 9/16. And this is the appropriate distance apart as per our drawing. And then I just worked to tack each stair tread in place, making sure to check level in all directions. You know, level out away from the pole, but also then level across the tread. Tacked it all in place with heavy tacks so that I could actually stand on them as I moved up. And then it was just time to run beads. They're about 5-inch long beads in this heavy steel, and it just takes a while, especially with the machine I have to lay down that much metal. And then a little bit of grinding, a little bit of wire wheel to get everything smooth and take all the spatters and sharp corners off, and here we are.
What do you think, Stella? Do you like it?
I like the spiral staircase. Yeah.
Why do you like the spiral staircase?
Well, I like to climb.
It's pretty, isn't it?
You like to climb
I like the color that
that.
we're gonna put it on. That we're gonna put on it.
You like what?
The color that we're gonna put it on.
Yeah, we picked out our paint chips, didn't we?
Yeah.
So, do you want to tell people what color it is?
Green, white, and pale green, white, and red, and there's like forbidden red and red willow and spice wine and falling pebbles.
We looked at different shades of
Yeah.
red. And I think we're using forbidden red.
Yeah.
Red around the big picture windows in the dining room. And then green over here in our living space.
Mhm.
And right where Milo's standing, we'll have a couch. And we'll have our bookcases. Yeah, it's gonna be cozy, isn't it?
We can eat pizza on it.
We can eat pizza and we can watch movies. So now I'm starting to think about furniture, starting to think about decorations, starting to think about actually living here. It feels like really amazing progress. What's your favorite part of the house so far?
Favorite part of the house? It's like choosing my favorite child. I don't know. Whatever I'm working on now. You know, right now I guess I'm excited about the steelwork and that it's a different look than the rest of it. You know, it brings something different to it. So, I have a relatively short attention span. So it is, whatever's in my hands. Right now it's steelwork.
What's next?
Next on the staircase, I have to add a little cross piece on each tread to catch the wood tread that's going on top. So a little more steel work on the staircase itself. I'm also working on the steel work for the bridge. There's a bridge between the two lofts. And it's going to look, in style a lot like this, which is to say really overbuilt. But I'm using the same 6x6 tube that I have a whole lot of, and I just think it's going to be a cool look, really solid and overbuilt, and it's just going to be part of the look. So I'm building the steel work for the bridge and the landing. And then I will move on to the wood treads and the planking that goes across the landing before I do any work on handrail, because handrail will be installed through those wood elements. When you just got to start at the bottom and do all those layers. And so the last layer is railing.
Awesome. Are you guys worried about getting into the new house in time?
Yes.
No. It doesn't seem like there's much left.
It doesn't seem like there's much left to do.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sadie? Are you excited to move into the new house?
Bathroom will be so fancy. I don't think the bathroom's gonna be that fancy. There's still no flush.
True. It's going to look fancy, but it still will not flush.
It'll be kind of like the outhouse, because we're still gonna have the sawdust stuff.
Right. Yes.
Lay down on the big brown couch again. Yeah.
How long has it been since we've had our big brown couch?
Forever.
Well, thanks for following along and for all of your encouraging words along the way. We notice you. It makes a difference for us. And I hope watching somebody do it helps you figure out what you want to do. So thanks for watching.
What are these?
It's cherry tomato. Do you want to take a bite? See how you like it?